and the guest via the internet as well. I am giving all three the opportunity to introduce themselves, to include their position, of course, at their place of work. Good morning, ladies. All right, so let us go. Give us introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, your line of work, where you work, of course.
All right, I'll go first. Good morning, listeners of the Nation Station. My name is Monique Jeffrey. I am from NCCU. I'm the marketing assistant there at your community financial partner.
All right. Who again do we have in studio?
So, good morning, everyone. Good morning to the listeners of DBS Radio and happy independence. My name is Christelle Fagan from the Quapo Bank, the National Bank of Dominica Limited, where I stand and sit as a customer support representative.
I like how you said it, the Quapo Bank. You have to represent. The Quapo has to be prominent in all of this.
That's
so I like
correct.
This. Okay, and via Zoom, good morning to you. We have another lady from the ICWI. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Heather Barron, but just Heather is fine.
Okay, so
I represent Insurance Company of the West Indies, and I operate at the Portsmouth branch. I manage the Portsmouth branch, and we are a property and liability insurance company, and one of the partners of FIM, or Financial Information Month.
Property and liability insurance company. Okay, all right. So I had to get this clear. Okay, so let me find out from all three of you the significance of the month from your position, your line of duty. Why is this necessary? Why do we have to focus on financial investing?
Can I go first?
Yes, you can go first. It's okay.
Okay, it's FIM, or Financial Information Month, is a regional educational campaign. And as you said, it's executed by the ECCU, or all the Caribbean islands, the 8 Caribbean islands that use the EC currency. Now, what we do since 2002, we sensitize the public into being more educated financially so that they can make wise choices which affect their present and their future. So I'll leave the rest up to the other ladies.
Okay, ladies, let's add to this.
We know that normally persons say money makes the world go round. And simply said, if you don't have it, you cannot just take it out from anywhere, right? And the money doesn't grow on money trees. It's a real thing. So it's important to note for Financial Education or Information Month that everybody has to understand how to use what you have. If it's important to save what you have, and making plans for what you may not have but what you want to have. So that's how I see it.
Say that again. How to use what you have.
How to use what you have, right? You're going to want to make sure you save what you have and make plans for what you may not have, but what you plan to have. You understand, right?
All right. I like that. I like how you put it. What about you, Miss Jeffrey?
Yeah. For credit unions, one of our mottos, so to speak, is not for profit, not for charity, but for service. And so as a credit union, we are in serving to our members. And so we have to do our part as a credit union to educate our members so that they can make wise financial decisions, because this is a circle, it's a cycle. We help each other so that we can build and improve our financial situations.
All right. Okay, so before we get into the topic itself, when we look at financial investment and the benefits of investing, Heather, you probably can give us an idea as to the key activities this month. Bring us up to date. What is happening?
Okay. Every morning on all the radio stations, we give financial tips. So I hope Dominica is listening for these interesting tips. So last week, Tuesday, we had the opening and the declaration speech on DBS. We also had a Creole program. And then on the Thursday, there was the hang on Kyrie FM with Finance Focus. And there was also a session on MO News. So people could come in or join via internet to listen to there was Sagicor, Central Credit Union, NCCU, NDFD, Republic Bank. They were all there explaining their products and their services. And it was interesting information for the public, because some people heard things that they never heard before. And also we made a donation to the Alpha Center and the Cancer Society. and also your Operation Youth Week. So we also give back. Apart from educating the public, we also give back.
And the activities will run for the entire month, so you would have more activities even after today.
Yes, we'll have more activities after today.
Okay.
Also, let me just mention that there is a Kahoot game at the DSC on the 15th.
A what?
A Kahoot
Kahoot.
game.
Okay, all right.
Yes, you'll get more information. And that will take place at the DFC with the college students. So we are involving everybody from every sector.
All right, Jeffrey and Fagan, let me get your views though. Do you think it's necessary to have a month of activities as opposed to maybe a day or even a week? How important is a month of activities, to treat a subject like this? Investing, finance, and all of that.
For something of that magnitude that you want to have, you want to ensure that it makes an impact in the entire Eastern Caribbean region, one day may not be enough, right? Like, take for example, certain things that we have that's one day, but it's all over the world, etched in stone, things like Mother's Day and Father's Day, and persons still feel, and they will tell you Mother's Day is every day. If you really look into embark on something where we want to ensure that maybe 10 years down the line that we have a more financially sound population in the Eastern Caribbean region, is something that we have to get persons accustomed to, acquainted with, and as she said, starting with the young and going all the way to the older persons. Everybody is included. So most definitely, I think a month is good timing for impact.
Jeffrey, do you share that view in terms of a month of activities?
Definitely. Finance is a very heavy topic, and even the theme for this year, where you're going from just saving to investing, you're thinking about building in a way where you put in to get out. And so that is a very important topic that cannot really just be celebrated or looked at in one day. And
So-
you're looking at different demographics as well.
Right.
So cradle to the grave, you have to hit all points to really build that up, and so one day just couldn't be enough.
So let us look at the importance of financial investments. What are the benefits of investing? Tell us about this. For some people, it may sound like heavy financial investment. They may have an idea, but as to what it is exactly, they may not know, because of course, discussion on that is kind of minimal. So let us look at financial investment, read the definition really, and the benefits of investing. So any one of you can go first. You want to take the first knock? ICWI, Heather? Yes, go ahead.
The theme for this year is from savers to investors. So it's a journey. We culturally, as savers, from small, we always have this little cash tin with our 10 cents, 5 cents, and then we take it to the bank at Christmas time. So we're used to that saving thing. But what we may not have been looking at culturally is investing. Because with savings, everybody knows that you get a lot less interest on your savings than with an investment. So if you're looking in the future and you're looking at inflation, where your buying power today changes drastically. If you have $100 today and you can fill a shopping cart, tomorrow when you go shopping, you may just happen to hold one little plastic. So your money value decreases. But if you invest that, then your money value increases. So that is why we choose that theme from savers to investors. And investment is making your money grow faster. That's the simplest layman way I can put it, making your money grow faster. So my colleagues here at the National Bank and the NCCU, they will tell you more about their services and their products they have for investing. But I hope the public gets it, that investing is making your money grow faster, and my colleagues will explain further and give more examples.
So you put your money to work and you potentially build wealth. That's what I'm getting.
Right.
Yes.
You want to add to this?
I quickly Googled just a quick definition for investment, and it says that investment is traditionally defined as the commitment of resources to achieve later benefits. So as she rightly said, you have to commit a certain portion of your little halfpenny and penny, your 10 cents and your 5 cents, to see later benefits. Not these benefits may not be current in your face within a year or two. It may not be short term, but the long term benefits would weigh. It would be more profitable. Let's say it that way. than if you were to just, decide, okay, let me just do this quickly because I want to see fast returns. But maybe the long-term benefits would be more beneficial, for lack of a better term, with investments.
Because you're making money on your money.
Right, and
So
as
to
it
speak.
says, it's like you are committing your resources now to achieve later benefits. So something you have to do some level of let's just leave it as commitment for now.
Okay.
Make it simple.
All right, Jeffrey, let me hear how you would give us an example of this.
And I really want to look at the perspective of investing in terms of, I should say, building property and putting your money into different ventures, whether it be a business or a property, different financial building tools where you can put that money in and you would have invested and made returns later on. You can also contribute to the economy by, you would employ people and build it to help GDP build the economy, because that's where you make money.
Sure.
It's because saving, you just leave the money there, probably get a 2% interest rate every year. That's great, but you want to do better than that, and that is where you would probably start a business, build your house, build equity, and those are things you can pass on to other generations, other people, that are even better than just leaving the savings in the bank or under your mattress.
So what I'm hearing from all three of you is that investing is better than saving. That's correct?
No,
It's the
they
next
should work
step
hand in
after
hand.
saving, because saving is important.
I
Very.
won't use it to better, but more, you make more. Let's just say you make more. Because we are appealing to everybody, including the layman public. So let's just call it investments, you make more and faster too.
And faster.
Just think of the 1% interest on your savings compared to the returns you can get in having a small business, for example, a hairdressing business. So if you compare the two, you can see that it's not, we do not want to say better because we do not want to discourage savers. So we'll just say you make more and you make more fast.
But there's a big difference between saving and investing in terms of the level of risk
there
taken.
is. Yes, there
And we want to
is.
look at that, as we go along. But I just wanted to bring that in, if investing is better than saving and that. But because saving typically results in you earning a lower return, right?
Typically.
Right.
But with virtually no risk. Whereas
Right,
That's right.
exactly.
investing maybe allows you the opportunity to earn what? A higher return, but you take on the risk of
higher
loss in order to do so.
Correct.
So
Yes.
okay, so help me with this.
But that's why it's important to save towards your investments. And as the theme says, from savers to investors. So you have to start with saving solely to have that cushion. So perhaps when you take that risk into investing, something may go wrong or something may not be, something changes in the economy or in the environment in which you operate, that savings would serve as a cushion. Without that savings, you cannot invest, or your investment may not be as beneficial as you expect.
Let us look at what entails here in terms of your line of duty. Are you seeing a lot of people in Dominica investing, young people? Let us look at the demographics. What are you observing? I would like to hear this from all three of you. What are you observing as far as investments, savings as well, but investments in particular? What are you observing? What are you saying?
I think a lot of our young people are more invested in starting small businesses as opposed to probably taking on a bigger financial risk in terms of building a home, because that's depending on the size of the business, especially, or the type of business they're looking at. A small business is the way to go, and that is what they would build upon then. So years down, they can say they can then afford a house better than they were 3 years ago without the business. A lot of our members have two jobs.
Right.
They probably have a main job and then a small side business.
Heather spoke earlier about putting savings aside for like Christmas time, so at a very young age, people would start to save. And even when you go into primary school and secondary school, there are credit unionettes. How important is this, Jeffrey, as we continue with you?
That is very important. You have to start that and develop that habit from young, which is what the credit unionettes really aim at. And then that can then grow into, when you get older, you transition out of that system into the main cooperative system, and then you move forward from there. What it is you want to do with your life, you can make plans, and NCCU and probably any other credit union in Dominica would be happy to assist you then with then using your savings, investing into whatever it is you may want to do, whether you want to go to study, do a business, and move from there, and so that you can go into other areas of life, but you want to have a home, vehicle, another business. We're all about growth at NCCU. And we really want to encourage our members then to come to us, have a chat with us, and we have many other different products and services that can assist you in that. So even when you're just starting off to work, you can look into a member retirement account. That's another investment. It's a financial savings tool, but it's really an investment because you're going to put that money there for decades and then look into getting a hefty return at the end when you retire. And that's very important to be saving for retirement. So you're investing to then retire at the end.
What about you, Crystal, and the NBD? What are you observing as far as savings are concerned and investments as well? Do you find a lot of young people coming forward, calling, seeking information?
Well, as the rep from NCCU said, Ms. Jeffrey said, a lot of young persons are interested in small businesses, which can be a good thing. What can come out from that, though, is to ensure that the returns from the small business is being handled properly. Separating what belongs to the business and what is personal, and that would allow you to be able to propel to make those plans. So as Ms. Jeffrey said, you might want to start that small business, might be that additional income that you might need to go ahead and get that car or build that house or buy that piece of land, earn a piece of Dominica. But if you're busy mixing and not having the financial intelligence to handle the funds from that small business properly, then it's just your quote-unquote savings or labor not being able to get to that point of investment. But at the NBD, we have a lot of persons coming in to open accounts for small businesses, as we call it, trading as businesses. A lot of good ideas coming out from that as well. We've seen them materializing every single day, which is awesome. It's also interesting when you find young persons know, as ICWI actually said, time value of money changes. So $100 today will not be $100 in 5 years' time. So when you start thinking about your investments in terms of property and housing and so on early, then it assists. So we have persons actually asking questions like, what is the cost of construction at 25 years old? That's awesome. Before, when you're growing up, you wouldn't think like you're big enough to have a house at 25. You'd think like you need to be 40. But if you have to think about it, if you wait till you're 40 to have a house, age of retirement is 65. Do you really have enough time? So it's good to start thinking about those things early. And we have products, education loans and land loans and mortgage loans packages, which are flexible and cater to every person in Dominica, from the cleaner to the CEO.
What about you, Heather, ICWI? Is it similar in terms of what you're observing?
Well, I am observing that people are buying assets at a younger age. Because growing up, when you heard about, even it's a small business, somebody starting a business, is like mommy and daddy age group. Somebody's building a house, buying cars or land. That used to be my parents' age group doing that. But right now, it's the young people. They are moving forward. When we grew up, only one job your parents had. Each parent had one job if they had a job, just one. But now our young people are having different jobs. They have their regular job and they have their little side hustle. And from that side hustle, they grow. Some of them have left their permanent employment to grow their small business. So I think today we have a lot more younger people entering the business world, which is good.
A lot of young people entering the business world. And I really like that. By the way, we can open up our lines just to take a few suggestions, a few questions as well as we go along. It's Financial Information Month. Remember that. This is spearheaded by the ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And the theme this year is on investments, financial investments. So this is what we are looking at, financial investing from savers to investors. So what we have been hearing essentially is that financial investment is an asset that I own, right? I'm just going to try to break it down. So an asset that I own, that I put money into with the expectation that it will grow. I'm on the right track, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or appreciate, as we could see, into a larger sum.
Right.
So like a bond or stock. So give us some examples.
Well, stocks and bonds are on the higher level of things. A little more, I wouldn't call it complicated, but a little more complex. But well, for me, for the listeners, what I want them to really think about today is an education is also an investment. Property is also an investment, and those are the ones that you actually have a little more flexibility. So you ensure, let's just say, okay, you get that piece of land today. I'm going to plan in 3 years' time. I'm going to start building, right? So that's the thought process in the financial world that we actually want persons to have. Don't just wake up today and decide, you know what, I have to build my house. No, and expect everything to happen. No, but if you start planning, so you start putting certain things together on a savings account or fixed deposit, that you put a little something every time. Okay, after I get that piece of land, I can now use the land as collateral to go ahead and build my house, one piece at a time or whatever it is. You get your mortgage and you send yourself to school, you get an education, you make yourself more marketable. Those are actually investments as well, right? The stocks and bonds part, I'm not too sure if Miss Jeffrey wants to speak about it, but for me, I would not want to propel on those complex things. They are there. They are there for sure, especially for larger entities, and persons who may have construction businesses as well. Those persons actually do those types of things, the line of credits and etc. So, but for me, I would like to concentrate on the basic investments.
Okay, basic investments. When Miss Jeffrey spoke earlier, she mentioned some of the products that are available at the NCCU as it relates to investment. What about the NBD? What services do you provide?
To start simple and easy, we have an account called a Wise Start account.
A Wise Start.
Yes. So as Ms. Jeffrey said at the start, and remember she said like from the cradle to the grave, you want to ensure that even from as young as you are, that you start to get that financial mind or that financial intelligent mind, right? So we have an account Wise Start, and that's from birth all the way to 18 years old. So parents will step into the bank and open that account for that child. That the child does not have access to, and then when you become an adult, then you can open a regular savings account, right? Then we have our fixed deposits. That we have the customers can have a minimum, very low minimum, if you ask me, of $5,000, and you have your fixed deposit, or as we call certificate of deposit account at the bank. And then I see also the basic credit products as the education loan and the land loan and the mortgage loan as well as investment opportunities for the customers.
All right, interesting. What about you at ICWI? Tell us about the products and the services that you offer in line of this financial investments. Heather? I'm not sure if Heather is hearing us. So.
Yes.
Oh.
Now.
Okay.
We come to the good part.
You like that part, right?
While our savers are becoming while our savers are becoming investors, buying the property, the vehicles, opening the small business, and having employees, we protect all this because we know of natural. As they say, man proposed, God disposed. We know we have natural disasters to begin with. We know we have fires that start for different reasons. We know we have accidents that happen almost on the regular in Dominica. There are accidents on the road with vehicles. There are accidents at your workplace. A customer may come in and slip and fall. One of your employees may have an injury or even death. And this is where ICWI comes in. We give you the peace of mind that if any of these, God forbid, accidents or disasters occur, that you would not have to deplete your savings, because remember, you started with being a saver, so you would not have to deplete your savings to manage those accidents or disasters or the financial loss that you will suffer as a result of this. You have the peace of mind that if you are insured, that your issues are covered, and that's where we come in. So when after you've been through NCB, NBD, and NCCU, and you got this loan and you start investing, remember to protect that investment. And one more thing, when you have the mortgage, the bank ensures that that property is protected. But what I notice with our people is that when the mortgage is done, finished, paid for, they forget all about protecting the property. When it belonged to the bank, you protected it. But now that it belongs to you, you are not protecting it anymore. So what happens when disasters come? You find yourself in a quandary, like what happened after Hurricane Maria. Some people fell into that. So let me just let my colleagues continue. But I think I've made a clear point that
Yes,
you have
yes.
a risk which you need to protect.
You said something though that stayed with me. You mentioned that like people forget about protecting the property. So I wanted to find out from NCCU, Monique Jeffrey, is it easy to sell this to people, or is it a difficult thing that people don't really buy into this?
Well, not really. The credit unions, I mean, sometimes they put us on the level with the banks, which we are not. Because when you see you're a member of NCCU, you have shares in NCCU. We're not a commercial bank. So that's a totally different thing. Because you as a member of NCCU with your shares can come to AGMs and vote for who it is you want to be running the credit unions, as opposed to that is your board of directors, credit committees, supervisory committees. They oversee everything that's going on. You have a say in that. Even just coming into the credit union to do your business, you can have a say in what goes on. And so that is a fundamental difference that we have. And so it's not difficult to get people on board. It's just we have some differences that sometimes people don't buy into. But it's all great, and sometimes you just have to be part of both systems or in both institutions, and so you use what works best for you. But in terms of stocks and bonds, we don't actually deal in that. But if you ever want to dip your toe into something like that, you just seen how that works for you. Being a member of NCC, you do have shares. You get dividends, which are declared at our AGMs every year. Last year we had an 8% return. So every year, as a member, you can think about buying more shares. They're only $50. And I know some people, if you see they have a lot of shares, they buy over the years, they made a pretty good investment. And so when you look at that 8%, and we've been in the range of that for the past few years, so if we continue along that trend, you buy a few shares every year, you'll be making something, a few $100s a year. And that could work well for people over a long period of time. And then your shares, you can always pass them along to the next generation when you die. Or if you ever want to give them to, you have a spouse, you have children who also want to become members, you can pass them along and they can open their accounts with shares that you give them. That's great.
Interesting. I heard a lot about the advantages of this. I'm sure there are red flags. We have to look at the disadvantages as well. What are some of the disadvantages? What are some of the red flags, that people can look out for? And I want to hear from each of you. I'm not sure I want to take this first, but as I said, we have been speaking a lot about the advantages. But there are disadvantages, so tell us about it.
There are risks. I mean, the economy can be quite shaky. You never know what's going to happen. Hurricanes, wars. We're feeling the effects all right now. And so sometimes that can have some severe impacts on what you are able to do and how you are able to build what it is you want to see for your life.
It's similar with you, NBD, in terms of what you all are saying?
I will say yes, but here's what. With everything in life, there's good and bad, right? You do not want to propel on the bad. Yes, you have to know it exists, but you don't want to propel on the bad. So, as Ms. Jeffrey was saying, you cannot tell what may happen with disasters and the economy, and I guess that's the reason why we have insurances. But within the commercial banking sector, we also have control mechanisms in place for just in case, So perchance I'm unable to pay my insurance and unable to pay my loan and unable to, what's going to happen to that piece of land? What's going to happen to my house? What will I do? So we have certain control mechanisms in place. And sometimes it's just a conversation with a credit officer or conversation with a banker that will allow you to feel a little more comfortable. So though you know that yes, there is a risk of maybe I might lose my job because my company fell flat after a hurricane, but however, I can feel comfortable with knowing that at the National Bank I can sit down and speak to a representative who would be able to assist me to put myself back on track.
Okay, so Heather, from the insurance company standpoint, what are some of the risks, red flags that people can look at? I see you smile, but obviously,
Because we are the cushion for the risks.
But there are risks. There are risks. I mean, as I said,
but I still want to make an appeal to the public, though. If we notice, we have been having a lot of accidents. And as being a driver on the road, I can tell that many of them are out of careless driving. What happens now when we have so many accidents? The premium will increase. Because to ensure that you are protected, the insurance company has their own insurance. They have their reinsurance. Now the reinsurers go by the statistics in your country to charge you. So if you're having more claims from Dominica, of course they're going to charge more. So when they charge us more, we have to pass on the charge. So I want to take this opportunity to appeal to our driving public. Let us try to reduce the frequency and severity of accidents. Because while some of us may never, like me, driving from 20 years now, have never had an accident, thank God. I am paying premium every year. But some people who just started having accidents, and I'm looking at myself like, well, I'm at a disadvantage. But because insurance is a pool, we have no choice. We have to continue paying. So what we can do as collectively, let us try to reduce the severity and the frequency of accidents so that the insurance can charge us a little less. And then we can save. And one more thing, sometimes the premium is high that it can be difficult to manage. What we should do is divide, it's an annual premium, divide the premium by 12 months and pay every month to a savings, wherever we save, to a savings account, and that would be only withdrawn when your insurance expires. So that's a way that, a saver can afford their premium comfortably. So you don't have to wait when your premium is, when your insurance expires to scratch your head and wonder, well, how I'm going to pay that $4,000 or that $3,000. And you have to be ducking police, that kind of thing. We want to be ready. So we want to save a small amount every month to ensure that we can pay our premium with a smile. So is there anything that you need me to cover when it comes to risk? Because we are the cushion.
I love what Heather said.
That's good. That's good. But sometimes some like investments, instruments, some transactions, in terms of the paperwork can be very complex. How simplified, is it from your end, NBD and ICWI and NCCU? Have you simplified it and make it like more friendly for people who are required a service?
That's a tough question.
Let me go first with that, because people
there are some things that you don't really see, but
Finance is a complex.
it is complex.
Yes.
So how
So
simple?
the
How have you?
paperwork sometimes can be a little complex and long too. We're
So
sorry
I
about
might
that,
be
but
sitting
it's
here
the
and it's
nature
complex
of
for
it.
me because I'm not really into the finance. So that's your thing,
But
right?
then the important thing to do is to understand.
Yes,
Because
I
if
know-
you
I know that.
understand every single
And I
document,
know that.
then
And
you can
I'm-
understand where they stand.
And I
in your
agree,
life.
and I agree. But I'm just
Right.
asking. I want to find out how simple is it? Have you all recognized the need to even simplify it even more?
Yearly, we do like a SWOT analysis, I say it so, of every process. You get feedback from the customers. It's always you take the open feedback from the customers and ensure that you design your products and your services and your processes as well to make them more comfortable, but also to ensure that they are safe. Because sometimes having one paper in opposed to 30 papers is a good thing for the customer, but it is actually a correct thing for you, because if I do not let you actually read the terms and conditions, and I just said, well, okay, terms and conditions might be sent in a link, you may never get to read it. Then what happens to you? Do you actually understand the paper that you have signed?
So
You come back 2 years after and you said, but what's going on with that fixed deposit?
Yeah, that's true.
And I supposed to etc etc etc, but I said, but no, ma'am, this is why we sat down and we had to have that conversation, because an investment is a serious thing.
Hearing why, Lies, why I ask that question. Because sometimes I may go to an insurance company and I may sit there for maybe an hour or more. And okay, so you read everything to me, and I'll just say I might just sign up on everything.
Because you want to go, right?
And after, yes.
Right, exactly.
NCC Monique Jeffrey, tell us in terms of the simplicity of this.
One thing we need to, and I want to emphasize for everyone listening, is that the financial system doesn't end with just us. There are many other institutions which make up the system that we also have to link with as well. So they sometimes have their own requirements that we have to meet in order to make your money move.
You have to
Whether
adhere
you're going
to.
from here to Dominica, here in Dominica to the US, to England, Australia, wherever you want to go and whatever it is you want to do, that we have to meet their requirements as well. And so sometimes it is necessary that we collect all that information and have so much more paper. We don't want to. We would be happy to just welcome you to the family and tell you,
Sign it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And have a great day. But it's not always going to be that simple. And so we try to make it as easy as possible and make you comfortable when you see you staying with us for that hour. But sometimes it's just necessary that we have that paperwork.
What about you, Heather? Sometimes people say, boy, insurance again. That's what.
I was about to say that usually you hear about the insurance company have small print or the fine print and we didn't really but our policies have no fine print, no small prints. The prints are large enough for everybody to read. But sometimes I admit that the terms can be technical. But we also have a section in the policy that describes all the terms. But beyond that, whenever you find anything in your policy that you do not understand, or you just want to understand the general policy without reading all through, you can give us a call at ICWI for sure. Especially Heather, and I will sit with you and go through it with you step by step. It's a pity that our clients, our general public, are always so busy and I don't have time to do this. I just want to sign, that kind of thing.
But some people get intimidated because that's a lot. There's sometimes a lot of paperwork too.
It's a lot, it's true, I admit. So that's why I say you can make the time, give us a call. The CSR are always busy dealing with customers, but our non-CSR staff was in their stuff. We are always available and ready to explain whatever it is that you do not understand. It can be the entire policy you want explained. That is no problem at ICWI. So do not wait for when you have a claim to start saying that you do not understand this and that and you didn't know this and that. After you have your policy, you can come with us. Let's sit down, let's go over it so you understand every single item that is covered in that policy. And that's very important, especially when you have a claim. So just be prepared.
Okay. All right. I know earlier on you all gave some examples, but I wanted to provide some pointers really on how to invest correctly. Let's help people listening, people viewing as well. Give us some pointers how to invest correctly.
I think first you'd have to look into educating yourself. Finance is a lot of information. You need to make sure that you're informed and knowledgeable, and then you'd be looking into making a plan. You set your goals for what it is you want to see for your life, and then you look into the information that you have and see what can work for you. How can you access those tools and use them? You make the plan, and then you have to be consistent. That's a critical thing for finance, because nothing comes easy and nothing comes quickly in life besides maybe death, and even then that can come slowly. So you have to look at, you want to reach somewhere 10 years down the line, what do I need to do month after month, week after week, year after year to reach to that goal?
Interesting. Anything you want to add?
I would just like to mirror
Crystal?
what she said, but in addition to when she said set goals, you want to ensure that you set SMART goals. So as they normally said, SMART as in specific, measurable, attainable, timely, to ensure that the goals that you set actually cater to you. Because you may want to make $10,000 in 3 years, and we may have our commitments may not be the same. You understand? So you have to ensure that whatever goals you have, okay, this month for Christelle, it maybe has to be 25 cents because that's what I have. You understand what I'm saying? Or maybe for Miss Jeffrey, it might be $10. So you have to ensure that your goals that you set actually looks like you caters to you. Ensure that they are smart. Excuse me. And also, I just want to use the opportunity to insert our product No Banking, where you can actually see everything, ensure that you track, ensure that you are able to, when you spend your money at the budget is not something that a lot of people do in Dominica, but it's very important. You make $1,000, but in your mind this month, okay, I have to go to a festival, I have to do my hair, I have to do XYZ, but then you're forgetting, okay, I have to pay electricity and then lights, I have to eat for the month, I may have to travel, so this is my bus fare. So it doesn't have to be anything complex. You take a paper, you write it down, and you ensure now you use the tool, for example, Mo Banking, to track your spending. Did I do a little over? Why is it that I'm missing money to do my hair? Is it because I spent too much money on food, So it's important to budget and track your spending, which will enable you to attain those goals and then go ahead and get your investments in.
Very important tips there. What about you, Heather at ICWI? Provide some pointers on how to invest correctly.
How to invest correctly? Well, I was a preschool teacher, so I always like to start at the bottom level.
That is a good
You
way
are
to start.
a young person working, you have about $5,000 and at your bank or credit union. You can start with a fixed deposit because, as I said, the interest on the regular savings is very low compared to the fixed deposit. So you take $2,000 from that $3,000, from that $5,000, so you have $3,000 left on your regular savings because remember, you don't want to go too risky too quick. So you have a fixed deposit of $2,000. There are 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Let's say you try your 6 months first. When it expires, you get that interest, right? You add it to that 2,000 and you put it back maybe for 1 year, 3 years, or you can put the interest on your savings and continue with that $2,000 for another term. That's a good way to start for a young person. And a few years, you may be able to do some other investment, invest in a deposit on your land or start a small business which will make quicker income so you can use from that income to purchase your land because you want to build further. So I think it's a step-by-step process, and you start early, start young. I think Sagicor and the other life insurance companies also have investment options where you get some cash value on your policy. I'm not into life insurance, so I can't tell you so much about them, but I know they have that option. What you can also do, which is very important, as Miss NCCU mentioned, education. Find a financial advisor for your health, your annual physical or whatever issues you have. You have a doctor. You have your doctor, right? If you're in some legal trouble, you have your lawyer. Your money is very important because that is what you're going to use to pay the doctor or the lawyer. Find a financial investor and advisor. And financial advisors out there, make yourselves known. I can recommend Finance Focus, Luana at Finance Focus. That's one person I know off my head. But we need to find these people because you do not know everything, right? You need information before you even think of investing because you do not want to make the wrong investment. It is very tempting out there with scams or different forms of buy investment. We had Circle and we had a number of them. I don't want to go through them. But there are very risky investments out there. And because you do not have the information, you may put your money into something that looks pretty to you on the onset and then you get in trouble. That happens to our people every day. So please find a financial advisor and start young, start small, because you will get there one day. That's the easiest way I can put it out there. So
Yes.
Everybody.
I like how you said it and the example that you gave about the circles, and pyramids and things like that. Because, there are some people who have this I want it now mentality, so they cannot wait. I also want you to advise these people because I'm thinking one must have the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward because some people just want it right now. in favor of a later, maybe potentially larger reward. So advise people in reference to that, because they need to wait really. Because some people just think that okay, they go into this and they have to get the returns immediately, and that is a no.
For me, it's the sustainability. So if whenever you decide to invest and you want the returns now, how sustainable is that? After you have received those returns now, then what? In opposed to ensuring that you have a secure source of investment, slow and steady wins the race. I make it very simple. For me, I see that start early, make it easy, in opposed to trying to do it so quickly and then it's not. The foundation is shaky.
Anybody want to share on this in terms of maybe waiting somewhat to having the patience to hold on to an investment for maybe an extended period, even when, because you all mentioned it, there are fluctuations or downturns in the market. Anybody want to add to this?
Well, I want to say, even
Well,
though we're in a fast-paced,
Okay.
moving environment, and we think that things change so quickly, it's important that you slow down. You really have to sit down and have a sort of spirit of discernment and watch how things are going before you just rush into things. And Miss Heather spoke about having a financial advisor. Sit down, have a conversation, and think about what it is you're going to do. And you can approach probably any other financial institution that you're working with to see and have a conversation with maybe your loans officer or a member service rep, and get different pieces of information, and then you can make a decision. Don't rush into things. It's not ever really going to do us any good, even though things are changing around us, because things change, but things don't change.
Certain things are constant.
Yeah. You want to weigh in on this, Heather?
Well, they have said it all, especially about taking our time, because I was trying to use a proverb in Creole. Something like, when you're too busy, impatience wouldn't make day break faster than it should break. Because like when we were small, you in Portsmouth and we have to go Roseau tomorrow, we have to go by Astaf and we're excited. We cannot sleep the night. Every minute we open and watch it to see if day break here. So you're so busy and excited that you do not want to wait. The importance is to wait. Wait, get all the information, understand the information before you put your hard-earned money, because money is easy to disappear, but very hard to come by. So that is why I want to stress on the waiting and the getting things done now. It doesn't really work for long. You may have a temporary fix, but later you will suffer, because I have heard many stories of people who invested in those investments flying all over with no regulation. If you invest your bank, your credit union, anything goes wrong, these institutions have insurance for your money, so your money is secure. But when you have your money spending on the internet, especially with every little scam you see, you're not sure which is legit, which is not. You have never even met the person behind the profile. You may see my picture behind a profile advertising some investment, and it's not me behind that keyboard at all. So we just have to take our time, wait, and again find financial advisors who can direct us.
All right. I think someone wants to share something. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning to your guest, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
My questions are always heavy. But
Okay, so we don't have much time. We have just less than 5 minutes, so let's go.
Yeah, 4 women on the panel. I want to ask directly. I've heard none of this spoke about children, family. Is bringing a child into the world an investment? Or is it a liability or an expense?
You're asking them if bringing a child into this world is an investment?
Yes. Because it takes money. Remember that. It's not a show and tell. It takes money for the child to be maintained up to 18 years old and plus. So is it an investment? I'm listening. Thank you.
I don't know I'm not sure if you'd want to take a go at this. I know, Heather, you're the most senior one there, so I'm not sure if you two would want to just weigh in on this. He was asking if bringing a child into the world is an investment.
Okay, that is a personal question and a personal response depending on the person. But for me, I do not see a child as an investment. I see bringing a child into this world is somebody you want to love and take care of and grow them up to take care of themselves. I really don't see bringing a child on earth as your investment, not a human being. That's just my personal view.
My response to that would be family planning is just as important as financial planning, and you will have to, if you want to plan a family or bring to be able to have a family, then you can feel free to do financial planning, but it's not necessarily an investment.
All right. Okay.
I know it's an old adage. They said that when you see you have children, they'll take care of you in your old age. So they looked at as children as as an investment, in a way. But you also need to remember that investments have risks, and you're dealing with a human being who has their own thoughts and feelings. You brought them into the world, yes, and you grow them up. You try to raise them right. But they will also have their own thoughts and feelings on how it is they want to live their life, and maybe at the end of it you may not factor as a parent into that.
Right. Interesting.
So unfortunately, no, I would not think of your children as an investment. I definitely agree with Heather. Think of your children, you bring them into the world, they probably come to enrich your life because you're bringing them here, they didn't ask to be here, and you love them and you try to bring them up into a way where they can contribute well to society. And so it feels maybe like an investment, but you're hoping for the best, because we're all human, things happen and people take their own way. So no, children are not an investment.
All right, very interesting points there from the three ladies. Herein, lies the importance of financial literacy. I think, we need to talk about this more, make it, like an everyday topic, because too many people shy away from this.
That's why we have a whole month.
Yes, and that's good. That's good. It's important to have a whole month, and educate people. By the way, do you all go to schools at any point?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Like maybe the fourth formers and the fifth formers.
We actually went to the Savin Pie Primary.
Okay.
And Clifton Primary.
Yes.
And Penville Primary.
Right. I mentioned the high schools, but the preschools are very important as well. If you can start from that tender age, yes, that would all go well in terms of what we want to see. Yes. You want to add something, Heather?
Yes, on investment. I know we didn't touch much on the higher levels of investment, but we have original discussion on investments with the ECC, Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange. That's next week on the 17th.
Okay.
At 5:30, you can see it on MO News. It's via ECCB Connect.
Okay.
So if we follow MO News, we can be part of that program, and all the investment information that you need in terms of higher level investment will be explained.
Okay, thanks for that.
So today we're doing the layman.
Yes, and that too is important. Okay, so as we end, I want to get closing remarks because it's that time already. We have another program coming up. Let's get your closing remarks as we end the discussion. You take the first knock if you feel that you're ready. Any one of you?
Okay, sure. All right. So the month for the financial literacy month, take the opportunity to actually understand and learn. Piggybacking on everything, as Heather said, that my colleagues have shared today, if it's anything that stays with you, is get somebody to talk to if you really don't understand. And ensure that person as well is not feeding you with incorrect information. So you get somebody who is of a financial background to at least assist. So, if you're a pensioner at home and you want to ensure that you're doing the right thing, you may have grandkids. If not, then you come to the bank or you go to a credit union or insurance company, whatever the case is, ensure that you're doing the right thing. If you're a very young person who is willing to start a business, you come to us at the National Bank and allow us to help you to invest. Do your books properly, ensure that you separate funds and start early, make it easy. Take your time and just quickly, let me just take the opportunity also to encourage our customers. We are doing what we call customer information folder updates. And so we are advising you to visit any of our branches with your ID and your proof of address and your proof of income as well, to ensure that we update your information. Because when we update your information, then we can ensure that we have financial products to suit you.
Right. Okay, who wants to take the knock now?
I just want to reiterate, educate, plan, and consistency is very important. Keep those 3 steps in mind for your financial future. And I want to wish everyone a happy independence. For our overseas members coming down, you want to contact our member care center to just remind you if you want to update your account. So any of our overseas people who wish to open an account with your community financial partner, contact our member care center at membercare@nccudominica.com or 255-2126. So you can find out all the documents that you need to bring down, because I know you're coming to enjoy yourself.
Indeed.
And you may not be thinking about bringing those documents, but we do need them. As I said, this financial industry is a cycle, and we have many people to report to, and so we need a number of documents. We want to make sure we have all the information that we need on you, so that we can serve you right. So I really encourage you then.
Great. So Fagan, the NBD also encourages people to come and update their accounts as well,
we're
especially
actually on
during
a
testing
drive for
season.
updates as well.
Okay.
Because that's how knowing the customer and getting proper information will help us and enable us. When you bring that salary slip and your or a job letter, your ID, your proof of address, it helps us to understand where you're at. Maybe help us to maybe at that time I say, okay, would you like a small loan? Would you like us to make your life, your lights, your finances a little easier? That type of thing. Are you interested in a vehicle? That's your daughter is that age. That's wonderful. Are you ready for that education loan? Let us help you, hold your hand, walk with you. But we would not know that if right now we know you as Ivona who lives in Portsmouth. Let's just say, and right now you're in a whole different space, and life is different for you.
Or even just swiping your cards.
Right.
You may be a frequent traveler. If you didn't know that, your card may get flagged. So we need all that kind of information to know how it is we're going to be dealing with.
So it's important to come and update.
Important. Very important.
Heather, as we end, we give you the last knock.
Yes, so I will just round off by reminding our listeners out there that after you have made all the wonderful investments with all my colleagues, don't forget that you need to protect those investments with ICWI. And I just want to take this opportunity quickly to shout out our partners this year: the ECCB, UE, Republic Bank, National Bank, NDFD, Sagicor, ICWI, Central Credit Union, DSS, NCCU, Pan America, Nagico, Domlec, the WASCO, Dominica Cooperative Societies League, Aid Bank, ShorePay, Co-op F, West Coast Credit Union, DAIC, Finance Focus, Jowlis Pharmacies, GIS, NYC, Digicel, and DYBT, and of course, DST. Thanks all the partners for ensuring that we can continue to educate and empower our listeners and our general public. That's it for today. Thank you, DBS.
All right. Well, let me thank you, because I really enjoyed the discussion. It's a topic I'm so okuma with in terms of financial investment and all of that. That is not like my forte really, but I really enjoyed it. In layman's language, we discussed and we broke it down, and I really enjoyed it. As I said, all the best. You all go back to work now, right?
Yes.
Back on duty.
So,
And it's busy time, so I can just imagine.
Correct.
I can just
Yes,
imagine.
we have some good things coming on stream next week. Actually, it will be International Credit Union Day next Thursday. So any members of any credit union in Dominica, you can expect the credit unions to be closed next Thursday. Actually, we'll be celebrating, and we're having a lot of activities throughout the week. So anywhere you go to any of your credit unions, you can expect a little something. We'll be celebrating throughout the week.
All right. Okay, so all the best, ladies. Happy Independence, by the way. Happy
To you the
Independence.
same. Thank you.
And
Yes,
enjoy the rest of the Thursday.
Thank you.
All
Same
right.
to you.
So that's where we come to the end of the discussion. The ECCB, as we said, spearheads that initiative to organize Financial Information Month, and we were happy to have these three young ladies with us on the program this morning. Stay tuned. We have another program coming up shortly.
Financial Information Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Financial empowerment through education. If you don't know what that is, let me tell you all about it. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money.